Chrissy here, your local no BS psychologist, coming to you live from the sunny Gold Coast, guys. I am up here doing some business work, doing my coaching, and I'm really pumped to be up here, and it just means that I'm a little bit further away from you guys in presenting my Life Crusher live tonight, but I still hope that you're really motivated to hear what Psych Chrissy has to say, because I've got some awesome content to deliver. So it's all about mental strength. Getting some of that mental resilience, some tips and tricks for actually achieving some mind muscle, if you want to call it that. So I've got 5 hot tips for you tonight, guys and gals, of how to develop mental strength or just more resilient mental capacity. So if you're watching Psych Chrissy live tonight, give me a wave, let me know you're here. And as always, please feel free to ask absolutely any questions that you have. But before I crack into the content tonight, guys, a very special shout out on the post. I have officially launched my Operation Wellness Sunbury, and that is trying to motivate the local community, but not just the people of Sunbury, all the surrounds, because I love everyone, you know, to put a focus on their mental health and their well-being via accessing some services that we have available at the Wellness Centre. So when you download the pack, guys, there's almost $70 worth of freebies in there for you to come down, try some meditation for free, try some yoga, use the voucher that we've got in there for some of the wellness services, and really try and focus on being well. So I'm getting out in every sort of capacity that I can, sharing that link and really encouraging all of our local community members to access some of the amazing services that we've got available to you when you click the link on the post. So the other important thing is that obviously I want to share it around as far as I possibly can. So feel free to share the Psych Chrissy broadcast, because it's got the wellness link on it, and it's got the amazing Psych Chrissy content as well. So it's like a double whammy of goodness. So feel free to share the post, tag anyone that you feel like that would really benefit from those wellness gifts, and all they need to do is click in and claim and come on down. So let's get into tonight's content, guys. It's all about flexing the mental strength, or what do we do to build more resilient mental or mind strength capacity, whatever you want to call it, resilience. So one of the surefire ways that I often encourage my clients to do is to identify and modify any unhelpful core beliefs that they might subscribe to. Now, that seems easy in theory. It's probably one of the hardest strategies that we try and engage in when we've got people coming along and learning about themselves in lots of different ways. But what we do know is that we often subscribe to unhelpful beliefs that we have either about ourselves or about the world that really does reduce our mental resilience. You know, when we've got beliefs about, you know, our own inadequacies, for example, our own insecurities, negative beliefs about the world that impact on us in really unhelpful ways. I'm never good enough. I'm never going to achieve these certain outcomes for myself. That really does tap away at your mental capacity. It makes you feel down and out. It makes you feel overwhelmed and stressed when you subscribe to these unhelpful beliefs. So we really do need to, in creating our mental toughness or flexing our mind muscle, we need to get better at challenging those unhelpful belief systems, or at least modifying them in some way. You know, so when you're feeling a little bit down and out and you've got this belief that, you know, you might be inadequate or not good enough in different ways, you know, helping to modify that belief as far as going, well, you know what, I might have some evidence that works against that, or I might not be overly good at doing this task over here, but I'm bloody great at doing this task over there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm totally inadequate as a person. And those challenging, or that process of unchallenging those unhelpful belief systems that we have, or those unhelpful subscriptions, really will start to enable us to flex that mind muscle and make us be more resilient day to day. So that's number one. Number two, in flexing our mind muscle or building our mind muscle or our mental capacity, you've got to stop wasting your mental energy. Now, what do I mean by that? Overthinking, total waste of mental energy. Dwelling on things, total waste of mental energy. Worrying about stuff, particularly outside of our control or things that we can't change. Man, you are burning up all of that mental energy in a really, really unhelpful way. That is not flexing the mind muscle and growing it to, I suppose, culture or foster a more stable sense of well-being. We're actually using that energy in a really bad way. It's like, I don't know, if we're on a weight loss journey, for example, it would be like classifying our energy use with putting a hamburger to our mouth and saying, well, I'm still utilizing energy, in a certain way, in a very unproductive way, let me tell you. And it's definitely not going to help if we're working towards building mental strength and resilience. Worrying, overthinking, and dwelling on stuff is really tapping out on that emotional energy in a really unhelpful way. So that's one way that we don't want to use our mental energy. The other way that we want to build our mental resilience is by challenging not just unhelpful beliefs, but unhelpful thoughts as well. Just the day-to-day stuff that we get. That person doesn't like me, or are they talking about me, or I can never do anything right, or I'm really crappy at that task. Just the day-to-day sort of unhelpful thoughts that we get that make ourselves feel down will tap our emotional energy. So we've got to challenge those. We've got to look for alternative ways. We've got to soothe ourselves. We've got to speak to ourselves more kindly to enable us to really build that mental strength that we are looking for. So that's number 3. Number 4, to really get our mind muscles flexing, we've got to be able to build emotional tolerance. So that's if we can build tolerance to uncomfortable emotional states, that is like getting on the mental chin-up bar, guys. That is like, if you're able to pull out, 10 chin-ups, and then you're able to manage emotional discomfort, let me tell you. But if you build your resilience to tolerating strong emotions, and that, in a sense, is being able to acknowledge, how you feel, being able to challenge unhelpful thinking attached to that emotional experience, being able to engage in soothing or distraction activities to bring that emotional fluctuate or that emotional intensity down the scale, then we are doing some serious mental toughness chin-ups, guys. Because I can tell you now, if you can build tolerance to emotional discomfort, your mental capacity, or your resilience will increase tenfold. So that's number 4. And the final tip that I would encourage you for building your mental strength or your mental toughness is being able to reflect on your process. Your progress, sorry, not your process, or your process if you like, whatever you want to do, but your wins, the things that you're doing well, touching base with things that you're grateful for, positive stuff. Sometimes we can have this tendency to focus on, things that we're not doing well, or, things that are not going great for us, or, stuff that's going wrong, all the problems, and we really don't balance that out with, what we're grateful for, what we're really doing well at, how we're progressing in life, things that we're mastering or doing well, and if we can touch base with that day to day, we will generally generate a sense of feeling higher levels of comfort within ourselves, feeling like we are actually building momentum and moving forward in helpful ways in our lives. So, and then we're flexing the mind muscle in a helpful way. We're building that mental resilience by touching base with things that, we're doing well. It's not all doom and gloom. There's, when we look for it, there are actual things or ways that we're progressing in our lives, but unfortunately sometimes we just don't touch base with them often enough. So let me zip through those 5 mental toughness strategies again, guys. What sort of chin-ups do we need to be doing every day in our mindset to be able to foster, mental resilience? 1, identifying and challenging unhelpful beliefs that we have. 2, stop wasting your mental energy in unhelpful ways. And I'm going to identify the big 3. That's overthinking, worrying, and dwelling on stuff. We've got to get rid of that practice, guys. It's totally useless and it burns out our mental capacity. 3, we're going to challenge unhelpful thinking, the day-to-day stuff, the negative Nancy type, thoughts or things that we kind of think of day-to-day that really do get us down. Number 4, we're going to build our capacity to manage emotional discomfort. And like I said, guys, that's like 10 chin-ups right there. And the last one is we're going to reflect on our progress regularly. We're going to touch base with the things that we're grateful for. We're going to acknowledge stuff that we're nailing in life. We're going to, even if it's a hard day, we're going to look for it. There's always things that we can find, that we are doing or engaging in that are, it might be moving us forward in a slow way, but at least we're still moving forward. So if you can do those 5 things each day, I can guarantee you guys that you'll be building a lot more mental strength, mind muscle, mental resilience, whatever you want to call it, and that you will be able to live a much more enriched and stable lifestyle as a result, and you're just going to feel better. And that's what we're all after. So there we go, guys. I hope the Life Crusher Live tonight has been helpful. Like I said, if you love the content, share it because there's somebody out there that needs it. And more importantly, we've got those wellness gifts on the post. So for all of my local community, I want you to really share some of this content to get those wellness packs out and help motivate people to engage more regularly in their self-care. Thank you very much, guys, for the live broadcast. That's it for tonight, and I will see you all next week. Catch you later.